Hey Transform, today I'm going to show you how to put one of these away. We have two different types of bikes, but they are both pretty much approached the exact same way. Now here's the scenario. I just finished my workout and I need to put my bike away like we do with all of our other equipment. I just finished wiping things down and giving coach my leaderboard score, and now I need to put it away. I'm going to put my dominant foot, my right foot, on the bottom of the base. I'm going to push through with some weight, and one swift movement, get the bike into those two little wheels. Now notice it's not scraping on the big wheel, so you will have to find what that sweet spot is in order for you to balance it. But once you do, you can maneuver this very simple. And put it in the way. Now, I would actually approach it this exact same way when I need to put it out onto the floor. You keep seeing members grab it from the rear, and this is very, very difficult to control. In fact, it's a little awkward because there's some extra wheels and I guess little pedals that stick out that will catch your ankles and your shins, and it's just not the proper way to put one of these away. Now the biker is pretty much put away the exact same way. The wheels are actually a little bit bigger, so it's a little easier to move these guys around, putting it on and moving it the exact same way. Now something that's important is how to use these bikes. The setup is very important because if you are improperly set up, it's going to be a little uncomfortable. Your knees or your ankles may cause a little irritation or some pain over time, and it's just not how we want to use these tools. The seat is the first thing that I would try and adjust, and the way that we want that is to measure that to our hip or the top of our hip, and once we find what that measurement is, I'll push this button down and it allows me to slide the seat up and down. Once I find the correct setting, then I'm able to just lock that seat in, and I'm pretty much ready to move on to the next feature. The handlebars should be at the right distance for your body. You don't want to have the handles so close that they're close to your chest, and you don't want them to be so far back that you can't reach them. You should have about a small arm's bend of the handles, that way that you can properly use this equipment. Now the way that we adjust those handlebars is with this nozzle right here. You just turn to the left and it allows you to slide them back and forth as you need. And then next would be the height of the handle setting. This allows you to move it up and down depending on how small or tall you are. Obviously a shorter person will probably have a very low setting, and a much taller person would have a very tall setting. Now, how to operate the assault bike is a little easier than operating our Concept 2 bike. There's only one setting that can really be adjusted, and that is the height of the seat. You'll turn this nozzle towards your body or to the left, pull it tight, pull it back, and then screw it tight. Make sure that nozzle is screwed tight, because if not, you can get a little bit of surprise mid-workout and have this bottom out unless you're already at the bottom. So make sure that guy's tightened up pretty well. And then you also have the option of moving the seat back and forth, which is a little different than the bike erg, because now instead of the handles coming to you, you now have that seat to come towards your handle. So kind of depending on how short or tall you are, or how long your arm or your torso is, that would be dependent on how you use this. Now this is important because you can churn a faster calorie with a proper setup. So that means that you will be more efficient using the bike. If you're less efficient, that means that you're just going to be doing double the work in order to achieve a simple calorie. So it's important to know your proper settings, that way that you can just get the best out of your workouts. The number one thing that I see that people do wrong when using either one of our bikes is grabbing from the rear and then trying to figure out how to get them to move. It just doesn't work. Some people will grab from the bottom, but then when you do that bottom base, that big wheel in the front is now too close, and now I'm actually possibly damaging the equipment because I'm dragging that big fan on the floor. That's why it's just always best to tip that on the other side towards your body. That way you can always have full control and just know how you're navigating this bike.